Hello and welcome to the Backlog Odyssey. I'm Patrick, and this time around on Game Bites, we're taking a look at the game that puts the pepper in Sir Tongara de Pepperocho, Clockwork Knight. And what makes this episode extra special is that not only am I striking a classic game from my backlog, I'm also playing it on a console I've only dreamt of owning up until relatively recently, the Sega Saturn. Clockwork Knight is a 2D action platformer developed and published by Sega, and was released in 1995 alongside the launch of the Sega Saturn in North America. In Clockwork Knight, you play as the ever-vigilant and valiant Pepperocho, who must dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge his way through 4 realms of the Clockwork Toy Kingdom, aka some obsessive toy collector's home. You'll be twisting, turning, and thrusting your keysword into any hole you can find, and of course tearing down DIY style the hypnotized and evil enemy toys, who don't exactly know what they're doing, but you're going to set them straight. Sir Pepper is on a journey to rescue his one and only fairy princess Chelsea of the Clockwork, who has the power to bring all the toys in the kingdom to life, and if she isn't found by the break of dawn, then all of her subjects, you included, will be left as a pile of lifeless wood, plastic, and springs for the rest of eternity. On the surface, Clockwork Knight seems like a pretty generic and rote platformer of the era, but if you dig a little deeper, you'll see that that's pretty much what it is. No real surprises here either. What it honestly reminds me of are the countless games of its ilk that you would find on the Genesis or the Mega Drive. There's something distinctly 16-bit Sega about it, which certainly isn't a bad thing, but short of a few polygons here and there in the backgrounds and bosses, I wouldn't really call it a showstopper in the Saturn's launch lineup. I've never really been a fan of the whole pre-rendered and digitized 3D graphics either. In this situation, it doesn't do the Sega Saturn justice. Clockwork Knight does suffer from some of the gameplay quirks and challenges developers oh so loved in the early to mid-90s as well. Things like its use of lives and continues leave your playthroughs vulnerable to game overs, which can result in a loss of desire to see the end of the game. And a lack of checkpoints and save features means you need to play and beat the game in one sitting if you want to see all of what it has to offer. Luckily, Clockwork Knight is short and relatively easy, so within a few sit-downs you'll be seeing those credits roll in no time. At less than an hour to a complete playthrough, it isn't much of a commitment either. Although Clockwork Knight may not be the primo title for the Saturn, I did have a great time playing it. It may not have aged quite as well as some of the other stellar games on the system, but I would have been perfectly content if I had gotten it when the Saturn was crispy and new in '95. It has that wonderful launch game feel, and that's exactly what I was looking for when I picked up mine in 2018. So what do you guys think of the Clockwork Knight? Have you played it before? And was this a good first choice as a fledgling Saturn collector? Let me know way down there in the comments section. If you like gaming shenanigans, including all of my written reviews, then be sure to check out the Backlog Odyssey website, link in the description. You can also follow me on Twitter at Backlog Odyssey and Instagram at The Backlog Odyssey to stay up to date with when we publish new content. Until next time, folks, I'm Patrick, and this is the Backlog Odyssey. Have a good one.